Hello, everyone. So, last time we were discussing the tribe of Zevulun, and we spoke about the third of the pairings, the third of 14 pairings in Ecclesiastes, of these 28 times. This is chapter 3 of Ecclesiastes, a time to kill and a time to heal. And we said that it relates to the tribe of Zevulun, that all 14 relate to these 14 pairings are brought in body, mind, and soul as part of a greater discussion related to the respiratory system. And right now our focus is on the spiritual side of healing respiratory problems. Again, to make sure to note that editor's note, listen to your doctor, follow instructions of your doctor. So back to the tribe of Zevulun. So the experience of the tribe of Zevulun is walking. It's one of the 12 senses of the soul. According to Judaism, there are 12 senses of the soul. The 5 that we are usually taught, and then 7 more. So one of the additional 7 is the sense of walking. And Zevulun were seafarers. They were merchants, and they supported the tribe of Yisachar. So Zevulun were the businessmen that would go out in commerce, and they would support the tribe of Yisachar, which were the Torah scholars. And the first blessing that Jacob gave, Jacob gave the tribe of Zevulun is Zevulun will dwell on the coast of the seas. He will be at the harbor of the ships, and his boundary will be at Sidon. And there, Rashi, the commentator, says that he will constantly frequent the harbor of the ships in the place of the port where the ships bring merchandise. For Zevulun would engage in commerce and provide food for the tribe of Yisachar. And they, the tribe of Yisachar, would engage in the study of Torah. So I'm going to hopefully bring this all together. The tribe the blessing that Moshe gave the tribe of Zevulun is, and to Zevulun he said, "Rejoice, Zevulun, in your departure, and Yisachar in your tents." So again, departure means commerce, and tents means learning Torah, tents of Torah. So to bring it back to this time that we were discussing, a time to kill and a time to heal. So we're saying that we're prohibiting travel because we want people to stay healthy. So this is the pairing of opposites. The Zevulun also corresponds to the month of Sivan, which the mazel, the zodiac of the month of Sivan is the twins. So you have this whole experience of similars, of pairings, and so you have these two opposite states: a time to kill and a time to heal. So which one is it? Is commerce, is traveling, especially at ports, at airports, at busy places. So is generally speaking, that's part of the world of commerce. But now this is being limited in order to protect, in order to heal. So, being that it's limited, being that we are unable to travel, the business people are unable to travel physically outside. Typically, we experience greater divine providence when we're on journeys. We see Hashem's hand in everything, but that's very good. So now, how do we experience that? How do we sublimate, elevate the current experience of maybe we're hunkered down, maybe we need to stay in place for a certain amount of time, maybe even 14 days, which we discussed is related perhaps to these 14 pairings of Ecclesiastes. And the idea is, first of all, that Zevulun supported his brother. So the first thing is to give tzedakah, which means it's translated as charity, but I mean it's kindness, righteousness, to do tzedek, to do righteous, to support another is a righteous, worthy deed. So that's definitely to reach out to help others wherever possible, others in need during this time. And it also relates to the inner yearnings of Zevulun himself. Zevulun wanted to also learn Torah. The seas, it says he was by the seas. It also relates to the seas of Torah, to wading, to delving into the seas of the knowledge of God, which is compared to the waters of Torah, especially in these days the inner dimension, the mystery, the mystical aspect, the inner dimension of Torah. And this is the inner yearning of Zevulun. So if we found ourselves previously as a traveler, we were traveling about, and now we find ourselves stationary, still the sense of the tribe of Zevulun is walking. So how do we progress, given that physically we're stationary? So the Hebrew for walking is halacha, hiluch, which really is the same root as halacha, which is the ways of God, how God wants us to the walkings of God, which are the instructions, the 613 commandments, the commandments that that God wants us to follow, and for a Jewish person to follow. And then there's the 7 for non-Jews, the 7 Noahide laws. And to progress, to go out in this way, is to rectifying the healing our psyche, elevating the sparks, not being a standard, but being a walker, going forward in the service of God. So I'm going to link to this article that discusses all about the tribe of Zevulun, and this very much relates to the experience that we're now in this state of hunkering down, to have this Zevulun mindset of helping the teachers of Torah, supporting them, helping others in need, and learn just within oneself, learning how to deeper and deeper to actualize our inner potential, ultimately in learning Torah and teaching Torah. So thank you, and we should all be healed. In doing so, this elevates, this rectifies all these wanderings, all these travelings that perhaps we were doing previously, whether by plane, by boat, by bus, by train, by car, whatever these commutes were, this traveling in order for commerce, let's say, which is the tribe of Zevulun, relates to traveling for commerce, even to the extent of finding ourselves often in ports, in very busy places of travel. This is the time to step back, to realize that Zevulun, what he really wants himself, is also to teach and to learn and to teach Torah. First of all, to support, for sure he does that, So we should also emulate that, and especially in these times, we should give generously to help those in need as much as possible, and in whatever way possible, and then to take this time also to learn and to dedicate and rededicate ourselves in the ways of God, in the traveling, walking in the ways of God. Thank you.